Lansdowne Road, the roar greeting the Irish team as they break away towards that Lansdowne Road terrace. And the salutes from the crowd in a stadium in which the Irish have won on their last 7 starts. What a record in Lansdowne Road. This is the Irish side that will do battle against the Spaniards today. You'll be well aware that John Aldridge declined the invitation to come to Dublin for personal reasons in the wake of that Hillsborough tragedy. But otherwise, it's much as you'd expect, with one other difference: Chris Hughton filling the number 2 shirt in place of Chris Morris of Glasgow Celtic, who's recovering from an appendix operation. Steve Staunton filling in Hughton's place at left back. Stapleton partnering Cascarino in front. And as for the Spanish, well, names in there that will cause worry enough. Emilio Butragueño, the little vulture, scorer of one of the goals in Seville last November. And also number 7, Manolo, who got another in Seville on his first appearance. A player who impressed enormously in Seville was Roberto, the midfield player, fair of hair and wearing the number 10 shirt. Serna is a name we don't remember from Seville. He was missing through injury. But they're all class men and a very powerful Spanish team that's won all its matches in this World Cup qualifying group so far. Ronnie Whelan lines out for Ireland, his first competitive match since that awful disaster at Hillsborough 11 days ago when he captained the Liverpool team for just 6 minutes of football and then an hour and a half of utter tragedy. Whelan will want to put all that behind him today, as will indeed his teammates Steve Staunton and Ray Houghton. Frank Stapleton gets the recall because of John Aldridge's absence, winning his 68th cap and going again for that record equaling 19th goal in the green shirt of Ireland. There's Butragueño, Spanish captain. The little vulture, as they say, a man on whom the Spaniards will depend for a way through the Irish rearguard. The Spanish will line up with a sweeper, 4 across the back, 3 in midfield and 2 up front. That's Manolo making his first appearance in Seville. He got one of the goals past Paki Bonner, a goal that dented a brave record on the Irish keeper's part. 15 clean sheets in 29 internationals so far. And as I say, it's a marvellous record that's being defended here at Lansdowne Road. Since Brazil were beaten 1-0, there have been 7 matches and they've all ended in victory on this ground. Ireland will kick off, playing right to left as the skies cloud over. Horst Brummeier of Austria is in charge at Lansdowne Road. Any breeze there is gusting around and across the pitch, and it might, if anything, be favouring Spain in this first half. That's the big man from the Rosses between the posts for Ireland for the 30th time. Stapleton's underneath this, and he got the touch. That's come to Quique and Butragueño. Challenged hard by Whelan. Now it's Manolo. Free kick against Kevin Sheedy. Commanding presence of the Austrian referee right on the spot to blow the whistle and give the first free kick of the match to Spain. Horst Brummeier refereed Northern Ireland against Spain in Mexico in the World Cup 3 years ago. 8 is Míchel, Quique, and again Sheedy in hard. And referee Brummeier just realised that that's the second free kick in a minute against Kevin Sheedy. Just asking him to lay off. Free kick from Míchel. McCarthy's shout was loud and clear. That was a foul throw. Looked like it from Míchel. It's come to Ray Houghton. Stapleton. Spread wide for Hughton. Indication there of the uneven surface at Lansdowne Road. The ball bobbled and bucked in front of Chris Hughton there. Now McCarthy forward towards Stapleton again. Shout from Houghton, and he's in possession. Houghton towards Stapleton. Wouldn't quite come for Whelan. Manolo, beaten by McGrath. Sheedy slid through for Cascarino. Quique is there. In comes Whelan. And back to Sanchís, the sweeper. We expect to see him right at the back all the way through, in front of his goalkeeper Zubizarreta. That's Sanchís of Real Madrid, which they were hammered last week by AC Milan in the European Cup. With 5 of their men in the side today. Sheedy finding difficulty controlling it. Staunton's there to support. Played forward for Houghton. The challenge came from Míchel. Staunton's throw. Houghton couldn't control it. Goal kick to Spain. Another little statistic about competitive visits to Dublin by the Spaniards. They've won only once in 4 starts. That was in a European Championship or a European Nations match back in 1964. 2-0 was the score then. Since, they played 1 World Cup match, which they lost 1-0, an own goal by their goalkeeper Iribar. A 0-0 match in the European Championship, and a 3-3 match, you may recall, back in '82. So it's more than a generation ago since Spain have won in Dublin in a competitive fixture. The Irish having difficulty coming to terms with the Lansdowne road surface. Been a lot of rain today, though it's eased now. There are great clouds overhead in the sky, and we could be in for another dousing before the match is over. And certainly it's made the top surface uncertain. There's Roberto. Cascarino won it back. Now it's Sheedy and Whelan. Cascarino against Sanchís. The Real sweeper getting it back. We saw in Seville, although Spain dominated that match, that any occasion that they were put under pressure, it tended to come for the high ball into the middle with Irishmen running onto it. And that's a tactic I'm sure the Irish will attempt to employ today. Notice there how they pushed up on the Spaniards. Obviously, if Spain are being hemmed in their own territory, they can't pose a threat. It's Moran and McGrath back. Forward from McGrath. Cascarino against Serna. Mistake by the Spaniard. And Stapleton's in on Sanchís. Houghton dispossessed by Jiménez. And the throw now for Stapleton. Houghton. And still it's Houghton. He did well in trying circumstances, and it's come now to McCarthy. Whelan against Míchel. Hoofed away then by Sanchís. And Bonner plays sweeper at the other end. 5 minutes of this World Cup tie have gone. It's Ireland 0, Spain 0. Broken for Sheedy. Stapleton. Sheedy on the ground, and the referee not interested in giving a free kick. And that's Sheedy battling in hard again. And away comes Quique. Manolo in chase here. Butragueño's in the middle. Moran is the covering player. Support here from Míchel. Manolo. Butragueño. Cleared by McGrath. A hint of a threat there as Manolo made ground up the right, but McGrath was who came to the rescue. Spain now have a throw. So impressive so far, Spain in this World Cup qualifying group. Winning all their matches to date. Was high and might well have gone the other way, but the free kick has been awarded to Míchel and Spain. The first moment of real concern for the Irish defence. Quique, the fullback's gone on a little run. That's played towards it by Míchel. But it was a rather half-hearted run by Quique, and no trouble at the finish to Pat Bonner. Míchel, who's operating very deep for Spain in these early minutes of the match. Plenty of noise from the 50,000 crowd, which is more or less 100% behind the boys in green. Jiménez, and now Serna. McCarthy. Butragueño, beaten by McGrath. Now it's Hughton. Plenty of encouragement, as ever. Vocal encouragement, that is. Cascarino losing his footing. And the presence of it from McCarthy, from Martín. Cascarino against Serna here. Going towards Stapleton. Serna once more. It's McCarthy's firm head. McGrath now, and Houghton. Stapleton. Back for Houghton. It wasn't a particularly good pass from Frank Stapleton. And that's Ireland's ball. And the linesman was closer to it. The referee allowed himself to be overruled. Houghton just unable to get in behind. Goal kick to Spain. Ray Houghton's looked busy and has been quite effective in these opening stages. Of course, he was reluctant to come to Dublin in view of what happened in Sheffield just 11 days ago, but certainly got back to his football here. 10 minutes gone. Ireland 0, Spain 0. It's McGrath, Whelan and McCarthy. Classic little triangle that. Getting the ball out of danger. Towards Cascarino. First touch to the Millwall man, and a good ball to Houghton. Stapleton, rather. And another throw to Ireland. It's well played up to Stapleton by Cascarino. This is Houghton now. He's dispossessed by Martín, but dispossessed unfairly. And that's given the first reasonable free kick opportunity for the Irish. And let's recall that the Spanish are none too happy with a high ball floated into the box. Significantly, Kevin Moran's gone up. Mick McCarthy hasn't. Stapleton and Cascarino are there. It's Houghton and Whelan together for the free kick. Houghton taking it. McGrath coming at the back. And the contact was made all right. It won't come for Sheedy. But that's Houghton battling on. And Spain were in some trouble there. Paul McGrath was who caused the problem. When the free kick came over, they didn't pick him up. And that should give the Irish lads heart here. First opportunity, and they put real pressure on Spain. Whelan in winning it back. McCarthy now. Houghton and McGrath. A great deal of zeal and commitment about the Irish performance this afternoon. Hanging for Cascarino. Stapleton battling. It's Stapleton still. Support from Houghton. That's a corner. This is a good spell of Irish pressure. And a corner to Ireland. Again, McCarthy hasn't gone off because he seems to have taken a knock. He's hanging back as Sheedy takes the corner. It's away towards Houghton. And there's McCarthy. Touch laboured in the run. And the ball forward wasn't what it might have been. McCarthy appeared to take a knock in challenge just a few moments ago, and he's been hobbling ever since, which is why he hasn't been going up to join the attack for those set pieces. Let's hope he can run the injury off. David O'Leary, of course, is on the bench should he be required. It's McGrath now. Ronnie Whelan. Too firmly struck for Sheedy. Well, David O'Leary is actually warming up at the moment, although he's now resumed his seat on the bench. They're going to leave McCarthy to attempt to run off the injury. That's O'Leary just changing places on the bench. One moment it looked rather as though he was about to busy himself for the fray. Staunton. Here's McCarthy. Big defensive header up and away. And moving a little more easily now, the Glasgow Celtic defender. Inspirational figure at the back for Ireland. It's for Butragueño. Moran is with him. Staunton via Sheedy to the touchline. Another throw to Spain. Close play here. This is Manolo, and that's Staunton, and that's a good challenge. Steve Staunton, who made only his second appearance in the cauldron that was Seville, but he's matured considerably as a Liverpool player throughout this season. It could be a fixture for some time to come in the number 3 shirt for Ireland. The corner taken by Míchel. The ball had gone out of play before it came back in again. Quarter of an hour of the match gone. It's Spain in Dublin, and that's the way it stands at the moment. A booming clearance from Bonner, and that's broken nicely from Cascarino to Houghton, but it's still Houghton. Then in the middle, Whelan's there, and Frank Stapleton has done it! Whelan's touch at the near post, and Frank Stapleton equals Don Gibbons' record. Minutes of the match gone. Brilliant play by Cascarino to send Houghton away. Great bravery here by the little man. Here's the cross, Whelan's touch, Stapleton there to finish it off. Frank Stapleton does it. It's Ireland 1, Spain 0. Cascarino quite brilliant in that, discommoding the Spaniards. Houghton 2, outstanding. And watch the little touch from Whelan that set up Stapleton. There was a rebound there off the Spanish defender, but Stapleton was there to claim it. Ronnie Whelan involved in it, but Frank Stapleton on his 61st, 68th international appearance has equalled Don Gibbons' record with his 19th goal for Ireland. And what an important goal that is. Hughton, Cascarino after this. That's a throw to Spain. Cascarino outstanding in that movement. to that. Outstanding opening 15 minutes by the Irish, and really no more than they deserve. Míchel again forced into the deep. Moran cutting it out. Stapleton on for Houghton. Still it's Houghton. Oh, what a game he's having. Cascarino. Hughton took the responsibility. That's just too close to Zubizarreta's goal. And that is a goal kick. But what about that moment? Frank Stapleton getting the goal. The first time Zubizarreta, the Spanish goalkeeper, has been beaten in this World Cup Group 6, and it had to happen in Dublin. Andoni Zubizarreta, the Barcelona goalkeeper, beaten for the first time in the World Cup this series. And it's Ireland 1, Spain 0. Here's Míchel. What can he produce? Míchel again. Sheedy can take it over here. Stapleton on another selfless run, cut out there by Sanchís. Vázquez, back to Górriz. Stapleton cutting it out. Really is an all-action performance by the Irish lads here. Míchel beaten by McCarthy. Now it's Houghton again. Brilliant tackle. Houghton with a shot. The keeper untroubled. But what an outstanding challenge that was in the midfield by Mick McCarthy. They are asking nothing and giving no quarter either. It's Manolo, and that's a throw to Ireland. Magnificent atmosphere in Lansdowne Road. Ireland go at Spain. Early days, of course, just in the 20th minute of the match. But the atmosphere, as Ray Tracy predicted, has turned out to be intimidating for the Spaniards. It's Whelan. Houghton had come infield. Whelan wasn't aware of it. Míchel. Vázquez, Manolo, Butragueño. Well, they can do that all afternoon, but they are 1-0 down. Butragueño, and a foul, free kick awarded against Steve Staunton. Another case for defensive organisation. Sanchís. Distinctive figure with a shirt outside the shorts. Jiménez, no trouble at all to Whelan. First poor ball by Ireland. Good block there by Paul McGrath. Spain will have to try all over again. It's away by Moran. By Staunton, and it's Sheedy. Staunton made himself available. Cascarino chasing there, the spin on that just taking it out. But obviously play back in the Spanish half. I would like to see it. Free kick against Frank Stapleton. Not too happy with the decision, but it was a touch high. Serna, Cospe, Míchel. And really the fact that he's operating there is indicative of the success of the Irish marking on him. Míchel, so vital to the Spanish midfield, is having to operate in the final third of the field as far as Ireland are concerned, but right back in defence as far as Spain are concerned. And now McCarthy. A loose clearance, Martín Vázquez. Butragueño frustrated by that. Connor, I should think, happy that he went past the post. Butragueño not really getting the service on which he can drive, proves so lethal. But you can talk all about your new camps and your San Siros, but there is a definite atmosphere about Lansdowne Road in Dublin on an international soccer day. And I think that is getting to the Spaniards, and certainly with the benefit of the goal, Frank Stapleton's goal on the quarter hour. Spain really are backs to the wall here. It's looking good from an Irish point of view. Staunton. Cascarino. And Míchel. McGrath. And now it's Cascarino leaving it for Stapleton. Opting for this Hughton on the far side. McGrath has joined the attack, and a free kick given against Paul McGrath, while the Spanish defender Górriz protests. And the Spaniards unhappy because there's a player on the ground and in need of attention, and that player is their influential midfield player, Míchel. That last challenge when the Irish were battling hard to get the ball back, he took the knock, and he's been down ever since. Stapleton and Cascarino have been outstanding in his opening quarter of the game, approaching 25 minutes gone. No doubt he'll be restored to something like full fitness to enable him to continue. The Irish fans not too happy about this, who want the game to continue. We'll see just how this incident came about. As Frank Stapleton battled there. He ran into Tony Cascarino, really, didn't he? And that was what posed the problem for Míchel. Again, significant. He got hurt right back in the defensive third of the field as far as the Spaniards were concerned. He really is being forced right back by the Irish tactic on the day. Martín Vázquez. Forced to operate on the far side. He left Staunton behind. Serna. And now Górriz. Staunton for Whelan. That'll go back. And that'll be greeted with acclamation. Ronnie Whelan, matured so much this season too as a Liverpool player, now the Liverpool captain, of course. Cascarino, and still he battles on, and the free kick awarded against Tony Cascarino, and I have to say it could have gone the other way there. Cascarino was bumped and buffeted, but the Austrian referee only saw a foul against the Irishman. Michel's down again. Manolo, and now Butragueño. He's the only Spaniard up, and he got himself a free kick. Decisions there that I think could have gone either way. Horst Brummeier giving it had the benefit of the doubt to the Spanish. It's allowed them to get men out of the defensive hole. Butragueño was all alone when he won that free kick. Now there are other men up. Let's come back to Míchel. Moran, and now Sheedy. Asked too much of Whelan, that did. And that's a goal kick. A couple of controversial decisions there from the Austrian referee, Horst Brummeier. It's in the 28th minute of the match. And that's the way it is. Frank Stapleton having split the sides. And there he is, having just had a little running repair. That goal coming after 15 minutes. And really summed up all that's best about the Irish performance. Battling by Cascarino, battling by Houghton out on the right. Whelan in to cause discomfort to the defence, and Stapleton arising at pace to tuck it away. Sanchís, in went McCarthy, who seems to be well over that knock he took earlier on, and Stapleton caught with a short arm tackle, a high tackle there, which brings an admonition against Míchel and a free kick to Ireland. That was more like you'd expect to see if they were playing rugby here, and even then only when they were playing outside the rules. But that was Míchel, and I think he was fortunate to escape without a yellow card there. Frustration that he's had a rough time and meeting it out himself. Sanchís. Stapleton again getting a bash there, this time from Serna. It's come to Moran. Played from McCarthy. On towards Hughton. Just couldn't keep it in play. Serna. Jiménez. And Martín Vázquez giving it away. This is Ronnie Whelan. Houghton. He made the space well. Houghton towards Sheedy. He couldn't just get a firm contact on that. Good defending by Quique. But again, the Spanish shown to be vulnerable. A tigerish play from Ray Houghton. Just a good break. Quique, a good challenge by Kevin Moran. Roberto it was in receiving the return pass, and Moran came thundering in. This is Houghton playing it back to Bonner. And that's a good sensible ball out to Hughton with plenty of room. Well, he had plenty of room. Quarter of an hour to half-time, 1-0 to Ireland. It's Chris Hughton. And Stapleton. Ray Houghton. And Whelan going in to win it back. And once more, Sheedy left a battle here. Staunton wins it though. And the free kick against Steve Staunton. Very hot on the old raised foot, this Austrian referee. That's Jiménez. And Ray Houghton back. McCarthy. Super defending. One for all and all for one, really, in that situation. McCarthy and Houghton help each other. Now Staunton. Broke it towards Cascarino. Stapleton in the middle. Sheedy in support. That's Sheedy's cross, and McGrath's in, and the Spanish all over the place. Cool head from Quique in the end, but the Spanish defence looking anything but secure. It's McCarthy. Míchel won it. McGrath going thundering in. Serna hooked it away to nowhere in particular. Stapleton on, Houghton's in the back here again. Cascarino's in the middle this time. Whelan too. The cross just pulled a little behind Ronnie Whelan. But once more, that was the long ball forward, one in the air, and Houghton scampering up the right, causing the main problem. Moran the winner. Quique, handball against Stapleton. Butragueño. One back by Moran. Whelan to Houghton. Stapleton on towards Cascarino. A rare loose one, but matched by a loose one from Górriz. And the Real Sociedad defender less than composed there. There he is again, and again it wasn't the most convincing piece of defending. Staunton, Whelan. This time it's Míchel. Martín Vázquez. Whelan in on him. Roberto. They're giving the Spaniards no time at all. Sanchís has done well to get out of that. McGrath missed him, Hughton got him, and it's Ireland's throw. So left for McCarthy. Give it the length back to Bonner. Again, he couldn't find Butragueño. And that's for Bonner. Sensible, conservative play on that occasion from Ronnie Whelan. Nolo unable to control it. And the free kick, for once in that kind of situation, has gone Ireland's way. Serna and Cascarino going for the same ball. And, well, for my money, it could equally have gone Spain's way on that occasion. But earlier decisions going against Ireland in there, perhaps the referee succumbing to human frailty and balancing up the book. But it's certainly given Ireland a marvellous opportunity here. Houghton and Whelan and Sheedy. That's Sheedy taking it towards McGrath, but it'll have to be taken again. The referee hadn't given the signal for it to be taken. So another chance. Whelan doing the spotting up. Then Sheedy to his right and Houghton to his left. Stapleton might just be offside where he's standing in the box. Now he's run out, and it's Whelan to try and curl it! Well, that wasn't very far away at all from Ronnie Whelan. Stapleton claiming that the goalkeeper touched it around the post. Superbly taken free kick by Ronnie Whelan from the dead ball. Sheedy ran over it, and Whelan came to curl it around the wall. Did the keeper touch it? Well, I don't think so. Anyway, we're back live with the action. Still 1-0, and there are 9 minutes to half-time. And this time Cascarino adjudged to have fouled the Spaniard. Míchel. In goes McGrath bravely. And he's won a free kick for the challenge by Martín Vázquez. McGrath went in bravely with no thought for his own personal safety. The referee reckoned the challenge was beyond the bounds of legitimacy, so it's a free kick to Ireland, and McCarthy will take it. Stapleton's on the edge of the penalty area. He's gone towards Staunton, and he got there. Martín Vázquez. Play towards Butragueño, who got in behind Staunton, but Bonner's there, and he didn't leave the area. Good goalkeeping. Good goalkeeping. In goes Staunton. Butragueño, beaten by Moran. And Moran taken from behind by Roberto. That was a horrible challenge for the Spaniard. Followed right through on Kevin Moran, and Moran is now down and injured. Roberto it was who came clattering through. Moran had played the back pass, and the frustration of the Spaniard encouraged him to foul Kevin Moran. Moran to the right of picture here. The ball broke away. There's Roberto coming in from the left. Moran plays it back. Roberto, oh look at that, right through him, right through Kevin Moran, and quite rightly punished. And again, one that might well have encouraged the production of the yellow card from the referee, but no. So Mick Byrne is on, and there's Roberto. He was such an influence in Seville for Spain in the midfield, but he's had no opportunity here. Barcelona midfielder Kevin Moran, Sporting Hughton centre-back, is back to something nearer full health. But it really was a terrible challenge that laid him low. The watch will have been stopped by the referee, so there'll be a bit to add on, but in normal time there are 6 minutes to go to half-time. Won by Cascarino. Well, Moran will welcome the opportunity to run at that, to run off any lingering stiffness. One there by Jiménez. McCarthy's gone over. McCarthy to put it out of play. He had a knock early on, he got over it okay, and Kevin Moran's had a knock, and he seems to be recovered. Hughton and Houghton. Stapleton. Hughton again. It's up to Cascarino. Cascarino playing the target man's role to almost to perfection. I reckon that he was the last to touch the ball when it went out of play. Zubizarreta putting pressure there on his man Górriz. Sheedy just unable to capitalise. We're inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. 15 minutes were on the clock when Frank Stapleton got the breakthrough, and it's still like that with half-time approaching. It's ironic smiles among the Spaniards, but they can't be happy with the way this first half has progressed. The referee encouraging Zubizarreta to get on with it. It's McCarthy. It's come to Butragueño. Always danger when he's on the ball. Now Martín Vázquez. Manolo. McCarthy up. And now it's Hughton. By Moran. It's McGrath. A fortunate rebound into Manolo. Spain trying to get into something here, but there's going to be a yellow card for Mick McCarthy. It's all very ragged play, and McCarthy deciding to mix it himself and falling foul of the referee. injured party. It was all over the place here, really. Then Manolo got it. McCarthy came right through. It was a bad challenge. But if that was worth a yellow card, I think some of the challenges that went before from Spanish players were equally worthy of admonition.
Take your tickets with you if you're leaving your seats at half-time.
But it's given Spain an opportunity to breach the Irish defence. 10 there is Roberto. Also with him is Míchel. And rolled to Vázquez. Oh, Bonner making the save he had to. Martín Vázquez appearing from nowhere. And Bonner did what he had to do. But for one awful moment it appeared that the big man had been beaten. Rolled by Míchel. They were all concerned about the ball at the free kick. Nobody picked Martín Vázquez up. Bonner, I think, perhaps saw it late, but he did what he had to do. And we're now back live, and the ball is out for a throw to Ireland. But an important save by Pat Bonner. Míchel rolled it. Martín Vázquez struck it. That was very nearly 1-1. Well done, Bonner. Stapleton's won a free kick. Staunton will take the free kick as Ireland have pushed 7 men forward. One of them, Frank Stapleton. It's broken now for another, Kevin Sheedy. And Houghton! And Zubizarreta profiting from a strike that did not carry the full venom that Ray Houghton would have wished. But again, he was able to get a clean strike on the ball in the penalty area, which says nothing for the Spanish defence. Sheedy from behind the far goal. Sheedy whipping it across. The Spanish defence in trouble, and Houghton just didn't really get full power behind it. Close run thing. We're now well inside the final minutes of the first half, normal time that is. Which explains the chorus of whistles, though there should be a little added time. Both trainers have been on. Sheedy. And back by Roberto. Now it's Whelan. Cascarino. Houghton's gone on a run. Threaded through for him. And Ray Houghton's offside. He's offside. He's offside. But it was so well worked. Cascarino spotted him go and released him. But the run was fractionally too fast, and the pass was fractionally too slow. So twice the ball's been in the Spanish net, but only once has it counted. McCarthy, forward for Stapleton. We're in added time at the end of the first half. That's Stapleton to Hughton. And the ball's out. Is what results. McCarthy went in. The last man outfield player back was Staunton. Didn't trouble him. Minute and a half of added time played at the end of the first half. The Austrian official, obviously punctilious with the stopwatch. There was a fair deal of stoppage time, a little bit of time wasted with the Spaniards too. It's now Paul McGrath. towards Cascarino. Zubizarreta taking it cleanly. Manolo, Míchel, Butragueño on a run. Oh, this has gone towards him, but Bonner saw the danger. Butragueño's won it back, and the linesman says the ball was out for a goal kick. He's not happy with that decision. The linesman was right there and was happy that he had seen the hold of the ball cross the line. Now 2 3/4 minutes of added time played at the end of the first half. Míchel, McCarthy, it's Martín now. Martín with the shot, which was always sailing high and wide. So the signal has come from the linesman that they reckon time's up. The referee has now played 3 1/4 minutes of added time. And I should think this goal kick from Pat Bonner will be the last action of the first half. And there is the half-time whistle. 48 minutes and 27 seconds after the first whistle sounded. And what a good half it's been for Ireland. A really enthusiastic, committed performance. Summed up in the goal. Cascarino onto Houghton, whipped across the face of the goal. Touched on by Whelan, bouncing off a Spanish defender. Ray Houghton so good, so positive in the first half, and involved in the goal that Frank Stapleton was to score. So half-time at Lansdowne Road looking good from an Irish point of view in this World Cup Group 6 qualifier. Republic of Ireland 1, Spain 0. The teams are back on the pitch, ready for the fray, and no changes on either team at half-time. Hardly surprising from an Irish point of view. Well, you make your own mind up. I know the studio panel have decided that it wasn't Frank Stapleton's touch that did it. Maybe we'll find out from the man himself after the game whether or not he's claiming the goal, but it matters not a whit. What really matters is that the scoreboard is showing 1-0 to Ireland after 45 minutes, and I think Big Jack and Morris there have cause for some satisfaction. Second half about to get underway with Spain playing from right to left. Been blessed with the weather, certainly as far as the playing time is concerned. It was a horrible grey afternoon in Dublin until about 3:30, and then things looked up. Maybe it's an Irish sun shining down there. Sanchís, Serna, Staunton. Sanchís once more. Cascarino's battling qualities won that back. It was Whelan and now Sheedy. Played through again for Ronnie Whelan. Towards Stapleton. And the Spaniards, just about everybody back there, survived the onslaught. Mistake there by Míchel, seized upon by Ronnie Whelan. Staunton. Sheedy. Staunton once more. And that might come to Stapleton. Cleared though by Serna. Frank Stapleton giving a marvellous battling performance in the first half here. 33 years of age in July, 68th appearance in the Irish shirt, and really the embodiment of all that battling in a green shirt is about. an Irish performance here that's resulted in the lead. We hear too from Valletta that in another match of importance in Group 6, Northern Ireland are also in front by 2-0 against Malta. Michael O'Neill and Colin Clark, the scorers there, but here's Manolo, and he drills it wide. Little Spaniard very nearly spoiling a good Irish story there. It was a good little shimmy. He beat Pat Bonner in Seville, you'll recall. And here he was again, the long ball from the deep, a little touch for the head, made the room, and then tried to bend it away from Bonner, but bent it too far wide. So to recap, in Valletta in the second half, it's 2-0 to Northern Ireland. Colin Clark and Michael O'Neill, the scorers there. A win that, if it comes to a win, would keep Northern Ireland's mathematical chances of qualification alive, but only that, really. Confirming their wish to be there in an Italian melody. Moran underneath this. Míchel. Determination from Ronnie Whelan, winning that back. That's Ireland's throw. And Whelan beginning to assert himself in the second half. It's for Houghton. Always brave, always prepared to show. I think it was Spain's ball, all right. Staunton in position, send it back. Górriz. Free kick against Sheedy. The 6th minute of the second half at Lansdowne Road. Still 1-0 as it was at half-time to Ireland. Martín Vázquez. Oh, the pace of Manolo got him behind McCarthy there. But Whelan was in just the right place to snuff out the danger. Houghton. Hard challenge from Martín Vázquez. Another free kick. And Ray Houghton is down. We saw Roberto do it to Moran in the first half. This is Martín Vázquez of Real Madrid in Spain. Late tackle on Ray Houghton. And Houghton has been assisted back to his feet by McBurn. McCarthy's free kick. Stapleton won it. Stapleton again. Might come to Whelan. Still it's Ronnie Whelan. And it's come to McGrath. Oh, wasn't far away. Wasn't far away from Paul McGrath. Zubizarreta was unsighted. And McGrath sent in the surprise shot, the snapshot, that very nearly caught him out. Again, a missed kick in the Spanish defence, and McGrath, the keeper, unsighted there. The ball came in low and hard, but unfortunately, from an Irish point of view, not on the target. Back for the action. It's Míchel against Staunton. And the flag is up for offside. It did strike Steve Staunton on the hand, but the linesman's flag was already up, indicating offside against the Spanish. Jiménez, Manolo, Martín Vázquez, trying to use the defender's pace against McCarthy, but not succeeding. McGrath, just too much pace in the ball for Houghton. Paul McGrath has been used in a more offensive role as the game has worn on. Sanchís, Martín Vázquez, and Hughton sticking to his task. One of the old stagers, Chris Hughton, 30 years of age now, in his 42nd appearance in the Irish shirt. Sanchís, Moran there first. It's come to Martín Vázquez. Sanchís once more. This time it's McCarthy. To Míchel. Whelan in the way. And now Sheedy. Whelan once more. And that's back. Significant point about the Spanish performance in the opening phase of the second half was that Míchel has been operating in a more forward position, doubtless on the instructions of his manager, Luis Suarez. Here he is, again gone deep to get the ball, but he has been further forward more often in the second half than he was in the first. Moran caught wrong-footed there. Butragueño playing it to Quique. And it results in a throw to Ireland. Cascarino misjudged the bounce. Martín Vázquez. Sanchís. McGrath did well there, didn't he? Oh, well played. Took the responsibility. Did well, and now it's Stapleton. Was he fouled there? Well, the linesman certainly seemed to think so. I wonder. Did he fall or was he pushed? Anyway, it's a free kick. Houghton with the big man in the middle. Oh, curling. Zubizarreta was positioned to come sailing out for the cross, and Houghton tried to bend it in by the near post. Now watch this. He'd had a look. He saw what was on, and then he came and with the outside of the foot he drilled it to try and deceive the keeper, which he did. And now here's Sheedy wasting an opportunity. Sheedy came through, got right underneath it and put it over the top. The crowd really enjoying this. Listen to the roar. McCarthy. Stapleton again. McCarthy again. Now Houghton. And he's won the free kick. He really is playing very well, Ray Houghton. And I think that it took the intervention of his wife to encourage him to come. He really needed to get back into football after the Hillsborough tragedy, and he's playing superbly here. That's for Cascarino, and that's just sailed past the upright again. And really, there has to be a second goal on here. They've been winging their way in across Zubizarreta's goal, and you feel another one just has to go in. McGrath and Martín Vázquez. It's no trouble to Staunton. Jiménez, who made the bigger Cascarino. And then we've got a free kick for a foul on Stapleton by Górriz. McBurn will throw it on once again. Frank will be black and blue after this. But he's so selfless in everything that he does. He puts himself in where it hurts. He takes the knocks and he opens the way for others to come through. Take advantage. It's a fine sight to behold, isn't it? Ireland 1, Spain 0. 15th minute of the second half of this World Cup Group 6 match. And the responsibility's been left to Staunton. Whelan. And now Hughton. Stapleton couldn't control it. Manolo's in here on McCarthy, but he stood his ground well, McCarthy. Now it's Martín Vázquez. McGrath cutting it out. Could have been a shout from Bonner there, but McGrath was taking no chances. Butragueño, no foul, McGrath. And Spain are just getting the game together a bit more now. Although there was some concerted Irish pressure, Spain appeared to have some menace when they came forward. Sheedy has won a free kick for a foul by Sanchís. Sanchís, the sweeper, left back, so that when Sheedy came hustling through, he was there to take him out, not to put too fine a point on it. There's Whelan with the free kick, away by Sanchís. Hughton, no offside here, and Houghton's in round the back. Sanchís again getting it away, this time it's Staunton. And it's come to McGrath. Couldn't get the power in the shot, Paul McGrath. Martín Vázquez with the ball. Míchel's made a run up the front. It's reached him. Staunton in the way. Martín Vázquez. Roberto. Stapleton clearing it. Really an outstanding football match and a very good performance by the Irish in it. 61 minutes have elapsed. It's Ireland 1, Spain 0. Míchel, Roberto, Sheedy and Quique involved with each other there, and the free kick goes to, it would have gone to Spain, but now Houghton for Ireland. Nice ball from Stephen Staunton. Míchel. Roberto's chasing after this. McCarthy taking no chances. And the venom damaging the advertising board. Venom with the challenge there. But it's all resulted in a corner to Spain. And they've sent the big man up. But Ireland had the big man back, Frank Stapleton. Manolo nearly got there. Now it's come to Butragueño. Good challenge by Tony Cascarino. Well played, the Millwall man. Butragueño again. This time facing a defender. This time winning the corner off Chris Hughton. He kept very quiet, Emilio Butragueño, but there's always the danger. It only needs one split second of inspiration, and he's there to make something of it. Martín Vázquez with the corner, Stapleton with the header away. Then Cascarino, then McCarthy, and finally Sheedy. And Houghton pulled down. Free kick. Challenge was from Serna. Steve Staunton. Sheedy's in there bustling. Górriz playing his way out of trouble. Quique. Free kick been awarded against Frank Stapleton. The pause in the action. Allow me to confirm the attendance at Lansdowne Road. 49,600 paid in to see this, and every one of them's getting real value for money. And a scoreline that I should think is most pleasing to them all. 20 minutes of the second half gone. Republic of Ireland 1, Spain 0. And Ireland about to make a substitution. Andy Townsend has removed the top of the tracksuit, so he'll soon be going into the fray. Sanchís fouled there by Stapleton. Free kick to Spain. Spain too are going to make changes. There's Andy Townsend. Spain are going to make 2 changes. And Ireland are going to make 1. The game continues. Frank Stapleton has had his name taken after that challenge on Sanchís. So everything happening at once here. But certainly it would appear that Spain, if they're going to send on 2 substitutes, are, as it were, playing their last throw. While in a more controlled manner, Jack Sharkin is about to adjust his formation. Moran. Cascarino committing the foul there. The row on the touchline you can probably hear. Luis Suarez, the Spanish manager who's been banned from the dugout, is down there protesting that he wants to make a substitution and that the referee is paying no attention to the official on the touchline who should be indicating that substitutions are about to be made. Now you'll gather he has spotted that. Frank Stapleton will go off. Andy Townsend will come on for his second international appearance. And the Spaniards want to make a substitution too. But Really well-deserved applause for the former Irish captain, Frank Stapleton, replaced by Andy Townsend, congratulated by Maurice Setters on a job very well done. Well, meanwhile, the Spaniards continue to protest that they haven't been allowed to make their substitution, or their double substitution. Formation seems to be that Andy Townsend is going to fulfill the same hustling, harrying role that Stapleton did, rather forward than in the midfield. Jiménez. Manolo tried a little bit of trickery that didn't come off. Míchel. Martín Vázquez. Jiménez. Stopped by McCarthy, but he has another go. And again, rock-like McCarthy. But now those substitutions about to be made, and they're taking off Butragueño. Sensational news, this. Butragueño played right out of the game, and the Spanish captain throws the skipper's armband to Serna. He goes off. On goes the big striker, Salinas of Barcelona. Also off comes Quique, the right back, to be replaced by a midfielder, Eusebio, wearing number 15, also of Barcelona. So Butragueño, so ineffective was he, that Luis Suarez has decided to pull him off with 21 minutes to go. And that really is a sign of Spanish desperation. Corner to Spain, taken by Martín Vázquez. Serna, the new captain, got up, but couldn't direct the header onto the goal. Well, that is really sensational. The star, the undisputed star of Spanish soccer, Real Madrid's little vulture, Emilio Butragueño, played right out of it by Mick McCarthy and Kevin Moran, and was replaced with 74 minutes of the match gone, 21 to go. A measure of the outstanding performance by the Irish defence today. Andy Townsend, Ireland's one and only substitute. Spain with 2-1. Salinas and Eusebio, both experienced internationals. Eusebio, the less experienced. Salinas, a former regular in the side. This is Houghton. And now Moran. It ran for him. Sheedy. Played by Kevin Sheedy. Ray Houghton. And Eusebio could not keep it in play. Whelan. Cascarino. Sheedy. Cascarino offside, said the linesman. The whistle's gone. It's a free kick to Spain. Martín Vázquez. Hughton. And Aaron's ball. And Ray Houghton with a smile as broad as the River Clyde in his hometown of Glasgow. Welcomes that decision. It's Eusebio with Sheedy and Chase. Beaten by Staunton. Staunton prepared to have a run. Now Houghton. Andy Townsend. Sheedy.
Míchel. That was meant for Manolo, but Bonner doing what he's supposed to do, acting as an extra defender. Out of his goal to snuff out the danger. And there's a free kick, pushed by Górriz on Sheedy. Really, the longer this goes on, the more confident you must become. Anything that the Spanish have done has been adequately dealt with, and they've made two changes that I think can be interpreted as a measure of their manager's desperation. When you take off your star man and your captain, 20 minutes to go. And Ireland have the free kick. Staunton, too close to Zubizarreta. Míchel. Eusebio trying to find Salinas. And he was offside anyway. Cascarino, well played. The ball's out now. It wasn't out on the first occasion, but it swung out after he played the cross in. Now there's Míchel back in his old stomping ground, front sweeper. To move forward now. Roberto. No free kick. McCarthy. That might reach Cascarino. Timed the run very well. Sanchís across with him, the sweeper. Now Serna. McCarthy in with determination. Hughton. Cascarino. Serna having a defend. Quarter of an hour to go. Ireland 1, Spain 0 at Lansdowne Road. Shoot. Only that Tony Cascarino was expecting Serna to knock that away. He might have been in a position to turn and chase the miss kick. Míchel again in the deep. Townsend, Whelan, Sheedy chasing. Sanchís is back. That's a corner. He'll claim all he likes that he was pushed, but he was put under pressure, and legitimate pressure at that. And it's given Ireland the corner. Kevin Sheedy winning it for him. And Houghton it will be to go across. Cascarino's in there, McGrath, Kevin Moran too, who scored more than one for Ireland from a similar position. McGrath goes up, it's Townsend to knock it back in. Moran up, and the whistle goes, fouled by Kevin Moran. Eusebio. Salinas, Moran back defending now, and did sufficiently well to beat the big striker. It's given Spain a corner. Míchel is the man who normally takes it. Central defenders have both gone up, Serna and Górriz. Taken short to Eusebio, blocked by Sheedy, another corner. little over 12 minutes to go. 1-0 to Ireland. Again, the short one to Eusebio. Back for Míchel. That was McGrath's head. Roberto. Blocked by McCarthy. Martín Vázquez. Back towards Míchel. Sheedy blocked it. Corner again. Well, Sheedy was involved. Staunton was close by, and they both feel most aggrieved about that. The linesman reckon it was a corner. So for the third time in recent minutes, Míchel. Sanchís, Roberto. And blocked there by Kevin Moran for another corner. The shot was from Serna. So trying times in the Irish defence. Martín Vázquez to take the corner. Bonner missed it, but Whelan didn't. And Houghton getting it out of play. That was Townsend. Míchel not happy with the way he was challenged, but it was legitimate. But it's a throw to Ireland. Andy Townsend putting his weight about. To good effect. And McCarthy will throw it back to Bonner. The old Glasgow Celtic 1-2. It has to be said, Mick McCarthy has had a very good game at the back. There were those who worry about his pace, or lack of it. There were those who said that he wasn't the man to mark Butragueño, but they've managed so well, he and Kevin Moran, that Butragueño's gone. And Ireland still come forward with menace. That was Sheedy's head. Eusebio in at right back where Quique was. Salinas and Moran together. And Salinas taking the feet from Kevin Moran, totally unnecessarily. Kevin Moran down and injured, and that has to be, and is, a yellow card. Moran beat him with some ease some moments ago. He obviously didn't like that, Salinas, so now his name goes in the book. And Kevin Moran is fit enough to resume. ¿Por qué, no doubt, he said to the Spanish striker. Moran now, of course, active in the Spanish First Division. And winning. Serna on to Staunton and out. 9 minutes to go. Ireland 1, Spain 0 in the World Cup. Sheedy for return. Spanolo. Górriz. Sanchís. Serna. And Míchel. Jiménez. Out by Hughton. And the feet were high on the part of Paul McGrath. Free kick to Spain. This is a time when the concentration has to be maintained. This crucial one-goal advantage must not be surrendered. Míchel. Oh, the defender, Górriz, came in at the back. The ball was swinging away from Pat Bonner, but it was a poor enough header in the end. Well, Luis Suarez reckoned that it would be Spain's toughest assignment, the visit to Dublin. I'm sure he'll have no reason to alter that opinion on the basis of the 82 minutes that have elapsed at Lansdowne Road. The first goal Spain have conceded in this World Cup. they trail to it still with just 7 minutes or so to go. Whelan, and now Sheedy. He's won the throw. And another couple of seconds tick away. Staunton will take the throw. Townsend's gone to offer close support. A longer one from Staunton. Cascarino heading it on. And that won't count either. The whistle had gone for a push by Tony Cascarino. Zubizarreta won't hang about. Whelan. Cascarino after it. Tony Cascarino has put himself about to such good effect throughout. Míchel, and that's Chris Hughton. Houghton going in and challenging. And Hughton and Martín Vázquez hammering their way together. Hughton said to have fouled the Spaniard. The crowd don't agree with that. But while that was going on, word came through that this fella, Ray Houghton, has been nominated Opal Man of the Match in this fixture, and I must say I can't disagree with that assessment at all. He's had an absolutely outstanding game, Ray Houghton. After all the trauma of Hillsborough, and uncertainty about whether he would play or not, he's come here, he's played superbly again in the green shirt of Ireland, and well worth that nomination. In his 24th international for Ireland, Ray Houghton is the Opal Man of the Match. And a free kick has resulted to Ireland. The crowd really relishing this now. Ronnie Whelan to take it. Staunton runs forward. It's played to the man of the match, Ray Houghton. Back to Whelan. Just lost his way a little there, Ronnie did. Steve Staunton. McCarthy. Townsend and McGrath. Solid performance in the middle of the field. Screwed away off his boot and away for a throw though. But Spain being penned right back in. This has been a relentless performance by Ireland. They never let up. Given the Spanish nothing at all. McCarthy rock-like as usual, as he has been throughout. There are 3.5 minutes remaining. It's Ireland 1, Spain 0. That was Andy Townsend. It's now Górriz. Salinas in round the back, but he couldn't get a clean strike on it. And Bonner, no doubt, relieved. Cascarino, difficult one that, but he managed to get a nudge on it. As the seconds tick away, we're now just under 3 minutes to go. Again, it's McCarthy. Crowd loving that. Townsend. Oh, a terrible challenge on Andy Townsend once again. This time by Górriz. Fortunately, Townsend unhurt. But Spanish frustration beginning to become manifest. That's gone and reached Sheedy. Now it's Houghton. And Houghton towards Cascarino. In comes Townsend. It wouldn't come from McGrath. He's won it back. Whelan. Goal kick. 2.5 minutes to go. Ireland 1, Spain 0. first World Cup win is there for the taking. There was criticism of the performance at Budapest that the team didn't go after the win when Hungary proved to be less of an obstacle than had been feared. Well, here they've set about their task, they've gone for it, and they deserve nothing less than victory here. It's been an outstanding Irish performance at Lansdowne Road. Less than 2 minutes to go. Cascarino chases willingly as ever. Sanchís. And McCarthy got there. Now Staunton. Sheedy. Staunton again. Townsend. Sheedy towards Houghton. Townsend going in, and Sanchís. Now it's the big man, Górriz. Hard man at the back, one of the two centre halves. Sanchís and Serna. 1 minute to go at Lansdowne Road, plus any stoppage time. Staunton goes in. Then it's Sanchís putting it back up into the Irish half. Free kick to Ireland. No, it seemed that a whistle had sounded and the Irish players were indicating they felt it was all over, but no, there was no whistle, there was no free kick. The game goes on, and now there's a free kick. Andy Townsend again on the wrong end of a very hefty Spanish challenge. Serna, the Spanish defender of Barcelona, banging into him, knocking him out of the way. But really, at this stage, it's all up for Spain. The 45 minutes have elapsed. We're now playing time added on. And the final whistle sounds. And Spain's first World Cup defeat is Ireland's first World Cup victory. Outstanding performance at Lansdowne Road by the 12 boys in green, decided by that 15th minute goal. Did it go in off Górriz, or was it Frank Stapleton's record? What matters is that it's produced that final score, and wouldn't it be ironic if it were a Spanish own goal, for the only other World Cup defeat that Spain suffered in Dublin was occasioned by an own goal from their goalkeeper Iribar. We'd want it to be for Frank on his 68th international appearance, and it should equal Don Gibbons' record of 19 international goals. But if it is Górriz who nudged it into the net, that matters not. It means that Ireland have won, and Ireland have notched up their first World Cup victory. 4 points now, a maximum possible 10. Spain, who if they drew here would have been sure to qualify for Italy, must wait for another day. And with home matches to come against Malta and Hungary and Northern Ireland before it's all up, it really does begin to look good for the Republic of Ireland. A memorable afternoon in Lansdowne Road. A performance of total commitment, a win nothing less than the Republic of Ireland deserved, and those fans could go home happy. Frank Stapleton's goal, or was it the own goal? It's Ireland's goal. We'll give it to Frank Stapleton unless he says otherwise. But 1-0 is the final score at Lansdowne Road.